You don't have to know exactly where your story is going in order to start writing it. My name is Mary Kole with Good Story Company and Mary Kole Editorial, and I am here to bust some common little right lies that we all tell ourselves. Now, look, I am a huge advocate of planning, right? We have the plotter, we have the pantser, we have the plantser, which is a hybrid of the two. I have released structure outlines and templates, outline your novel, webinars, all of that good stuff. I believe there's a place for it, right? Because if you know your structure, yes, the writing may come a little easier. Notice I didn't say easy, but easier because you have a sense of where you are pointing yourself next when you sit down to write. That is an undeniable benefit. That being said, you should not wait until you are perfectly ready because that in and of itself is a myth. You do not know every word of your manuscript, right? I have heard those stories of people who wake up one day and they say, "Oh, I just downloaded it from a dream and I wrote every word and it was great." Not everything is going to come into your brain fully formed, and that is okay. You can plan. But you know what? Even plotters surprise themselves. Otherwise, the writing would feel rote. It wouldn't feel fresh. There are going to be things that come from your imagination or the show that you were watching last night or whatever that you didn't anticipate and you couldn't have prepared for at the outline phase. So, what that means is you don't need to trick yourself into this idea that you should know and you should wait and you should be 100% confident what you're going to sit down and do before you sit down and do it. You won't. Not until you write it, not until it is in your rear view mirror. And then you have to write the entire draft. And then you can evaluate what you've actually written. And a lot of it might change in revision. So the key is to be less precious about the exact perfect thing that you plan to write because all of that might change either now in the writing or later in the revision and self-editing process. Clarity comes from the doing, not the waiting, not the preparation. Preparation is great. Again, don't get me wrong, but you learn your story by writing through your story. The only wrong direction is standing still and waiting for inspiration to strike, waiting to feel perfectly prepared, waiting to feel confident. Because those things might not be in place, but you know what? If you have an idea, that's something. And that's something that you can build on. So don't wait.